Welcome to a digital age where mobile phones have become an integral part of our lives. But as we navigate this vast technological landscape, the smartphone is gradually taking much of our time to the extent that many more are hooked to their phones than their faith. This is why we must ask ourselves between faith and the smartphone, which is having more impact on our lives. Today, on a daily basis, in the palm of our hands is the power to connect with the world. But as our obsession with smartphones comes at a cost to our faith, the mobile phone has also become an almost most valuable partner. In today's world, the mobile phone has become our most dependable tool for time checks, entertainment, information, and education. In just few decades, mobile phones have revolutionized the way we communicate, access information, and spend our time. With over 4.3 billion users worldwide, it's hard to imagine life without them. To many, it's the first they check when they wake up, the last seen or consulted for information or entertainment just before going to bed. Faith has been a cornerstone of human existence for centuries. Today, 5.8 billion people identify with a faith or religion. But as mobile phones begin to dominate our lives, the importance of faith versus the smartphone has become a huge question begging for answers. As many say, the phone is taking more of our attention than faith.
The phone is a picture of great possessions. The rich young ruler in Matthew 19, he walks away sad because he had access to power, access to information through his money. We have the same access to power, the same access to information. It may look a little different, but we have it through our phones. You pick up your phone, you can order something on Amazon, it could be at your doorstep that night. You pick up your phone, you have a question, you go on Google, you have access to information. The phones represent us trying to gain the world. 50 years ago, we tried to gain the world through our jobs, gain the world through relationships and climbing the social ladder. Now we try to gain the world through our phones. But what good is it to try to watch a million videos, to subscribe to a million different creators, to buy a bunch of different boxes on Amazon? What good is it to try to gain the world through your phone and then end up losing your soul?
Internet and social media embedded in that smartphone has provided us access. Access to almost everything. And that should be an advantage. Access to, almost everything. Google is there, YouTube is there. YouTube, as far as I'm concerned, is the largest university on earth. There's hardly anything you want to learn, you cannot learn on it. And it's on that mobile phone you are holding. Access, as Christians, you have hundreds of versions of the scripture right inside that phone. You do your prayer meeting on that phone. Even in church, you can live stream with that phone. In our church, we still use phone to live stream. And it's meeting our demand, our requirement for now. You understand? So what I want to say is that the advent of mobile phone, the mobile phone in our hands is an opportunity. Because something's an opportunity also means it could be a problem if proper care is not taken.
As mobile phones infiltrate every aspect of our lives, faith practices are also evolving. From online worship to digital evangelism, the intersection of technology and faith raises important questions. But to some analysts, there should be a balance.
I've been an addiction psychologist. I've treated crystal meth and heroin addiction for over 25 years before I got into understanding this new generation of addiction. And I often say that I find this more challenging to treat than heroin addiction simply for the reason that it's so much more ubiquitous and socially accepted and harder to live without.
As the mobile phone provides us opportunity to warehouse a lot of documents, a lot of Christian materials, a lot of material we need for training, it can also warehouse what we don't need. That is dangerous to us if we choose to warehouse them inside that phone. Some of us are carrying phone that has like 256 gig, 500 gig, and can take a whole. In those days, everything in in the library in school may be put together into 1 gig. Now you're having like the world library in your mobile phone, and so that mobile phone can be a cinema. Can turn into a cinema depending on what you are watching. It can also be a cinema of destruction, especially for those who put wrong materials inside there. So, but the major thing, the major challenge I see with mobile phone is distraction. Sometimes you pick your phone, you want to do something. Before you know it, you have entered TikTok. TikTok is very addictive, very intrusive and very addictive, and you can be on it for the next 1 hour without you knowing. You see all manner of things on it, the good, the pleasant, the undesirable, the unthinkable. They are all there on all those social media platforms. And so, because it brings distraction, it's a call for us to be disciplined, and that is tough.
But as we increasingly rely on mobile phones, concerns arise. Issues of mental health, social comparison, and decrease in self-esteem are the consequences many are dealing with. With this, can faith provide a counterbalance?
Do you apportion a particular time of the day towards your access online? So, okay, I'm going to use only 1 hour on the internet after dinner, and from there I sleep. Or you do it until you sleep. It now becomes a lullaby. It does not become a lullaby for you. Or even as a Christian, you go online. Yes, they are prayer meeting. You jump from one prayer meeting to the other, and then what you're supposed to do for the day, you have not achieved them. And we know that prayer is not the only key. Prayer is a key. Hard work is also a key. So we as leaders need to help people balance things.
For further insight, we spoke with experts in psychology, sociology, and theology to understand the complex relationship between mobile phones and faith.
This is the psychological power of the device. What if I was sitting here talking to you holding my phone? It's not buzzing, it's not beeping, no one's calling me, I'm just holding it. Do you feel like you are the most important thing to me right now? No, you don't. That's the association. So when we show up for a meeting, or we sit down for dinner with our families, and we put the phone on the table, it sends a psychological message to everyone sitting there that you are not the most important thing to me right now. And putting the phone upside down is not more polite. Put it in airplane mode to take away the temptation that something's coming in, and put it in a bag or on a shelf out of sight. And this is how we should be interacting with people, giving them our full attention, because the idea is not that we hear the words they say, but that they feel heard. And this is one of the tricks. If you wake up in the morning and you check your phone before you say good morning to the person sitting next to you, you probably have a problem. If you have to take your phone from room to room, no matter where you go, you probably have a problem. And just like any recreational drug, the more you practice leaving it away, you find it easier not to be sucked in by the fear-mongering as well. So like any addiction, it just takes a little work.
Using the internet here and there, and you are exposed to different kinds of information, different kinds of content. And then there's this subtle thing about addiction, the thing of you just getting too much attached and addicted to the content you're feeding yourself with online. Even if those contents are negative, you just realize that you just cannot remove yourself from them because there's a level of addiction that grows. So how do these things affect what mentally? Of course, if constantly you are getting exposed to, of course, there's no lack of negative news online. Trust me, if you want to be sad, if you just want to, like this, go into depression, go online and start checking the news, what's going on in the country, what's going on in the continent, what's going on in the global space. You will see a lot of things that are going to make you very sad. Fear of missing out. And this affects literally all age groups, but of course we're going to be focusing on the young person. So there's a lot of tendency to go online and literally feel like you are not making any progress. You literally feel like every other person is better than you because of what you see the post, right? And you just conclude that I'm literally the worst person living, like I'm just a very stagnant human being. Everybody's progressing. And what you do not know is that everybody posts their best lives online.
As we navigate the digital landscape, we must consider the impact of our faith and humanity. Will we find balance, or one will dominate the other? The choice is ours, depending on how we create balance. In a world where mobile phones and faith coexist, perhaps the greatest question would be, what do we truly value?
For more on well-researched and balanced stories, events and interviews across business, tech innovation and lifestyle, please like, share and subscribe to this channel, www.youtube.com/Digivation Network.